He had everything: fame, fortune, and the love of millions of fans. But then, everything changed. Things weren't as perfect as they seemed. Behind the bright lights and cheering fans, Barry Manilow was hiding a secret. The man whose songs brought so much happiness to others was deeply struggling inside. This is the story of Barry Manilow, a music legend who seemed to have it all but faced intense struggles he kept hidden. To understand Barry Manilow's story, we need to go back to the moment that made the world take notice. Original name Barry Allen Pincus, but familiar as Barry Manilow. Barry wasn't born into fame. He was born on June 17, 1943, in Brooklyn, New York, to a modest working-class family. His parents divorced when he was young, so his mom, Edna, raised him on her own. Music became Barry's escape from life's challenges. His grandfather, who believed in Barry's talent, bought him his first accordion, and that's where it all began. As a teenager, Barry's love for music grew stronger. He started playing piano and found that he didn't just love performing, he enjoyed writing and arranging music too. But when high school ended, he wasn't sure if he could turn his love for music into a real career. He faced a lot of challenges but didn't give up. At Juilliard, Barry studied music while working small jobs to pay his bills. One of those jobs was at CBS, where he got his first big chance to write music for a TV drama. It wasn't easy, but it taught him that music couldn't just be his hobby, but his future. Later, he started writing jingles for ads. It wasn't glamorous work, but it taught him how to write songs that stuck in people's minds. Brands like McDonald's and State Farm hired him, and these projects helped him develop his skill for creating music that really connected with listeners. But then, a meeting changed everything. Barry began working with Bette Midler, serving as her music director during her rise to fame. Their collaboration wasn't just a career boost, it was a masterclass in performance and showmanship. He wasn't in the spotlight yet, but Barry was learning how to shine. In 1974, the world finally heard his voice with Mandy. It wasn't just a hit, it was a phenomenon. The song went straight to the top of the charts, and Barry became an overnight sensation. Suddenly, he was no longer the guy behind the music. He was the star. Later on, he made hits like Copacabana and Can't Smile Without You. Barry was unstoppable, or so it seemed. The boy from Brooklyn had made it big, but with each step higher, the weight of what he was hiding grew heavier and heavier. The hits kept coming, from Copacabana to Can't Smile Without You. Fans couldn't get enough, and his music became a soundtrack for love, heartbreak, and celebration. But his success wasn't only in the charts. Barry became a master of the stage, selling out arenas and captivating audiences worldwide. His concerts were more than just performances. They were events filled with energy, emotion, and unforgettable moments. Fans didn't just hear his music, they felt it. But then, the money followed the fame. Barry's talent didn't just make him famous, it made him incredibly wealthy. His albums sold millions of copies and his tours generated enormous profits. Later, his shows in Las Vegas made him even more successful, earning him tens of millions of dollars over the years. Barry also knew how to make smart moves. He invested his earnings wisely and built an empire that ensured his financial stability for decades. By any measure, he was living the dream. But the bigger his career got, the more the pressure grew. Every song, every performance, and every smiling photo added to the image he was expected to maintain. Behind the fame, Barry was carrying a secret, a part of himself that he felt he couldn't share. No matter how successful he became, his wealth and fame couldn't fix the weight in his heart. It was a struggle only he knew about, and it was about to become harder and harder to ignore. Barry was living with a secret that few people knew. While his music made millions of fans feel deeply connected to him, he often felt alone. The truth was, Barry was gay. But in the world he lived in, coming out wasn't an option. Not if he wanted to keep his career alive. Back in the 1970s and 1980s, the music industry wasn't a safe place for someone like Barry to share his true self. He worried about how fans would react, how the media would treat him, and how it might all come crashing down. So he stayed quiet. He dated women publicly, kept his private life out of the spotlight, and focused on his work. But hiding came at a cost. While the world saw a confident, charismatic performer, Barry often felt trapped. The pressure to keep up appearances, to smile and sing as if everything was perfect, began to take its toll. Each time he walked on stage, he was putting on a mask. But Barry's personal life, however, wasn't without love. In the 70s, he met Gary Keefe, the man who would become his partner and later his husband. Gary wasn't just someone Barry loved. He was also his trust, the person who helped him navigate the challenges of fame. Through all the highs and lows, Gary was by his side, offering a safe space where Barry could simply be himself. Together, they built a life filled with love and stability, but it was a life they had to keep in the shadows. Living a double life came with sacrifices. Barry couldn't share his happiness with the world or even celebrate his most joyful moments openly. At award shows and public events, Gary was there, but always in the background, unrecognized for the role he played in Barry's life. For Barry, it was bittersweet. He was grateful for the love they shared, but the secrecy left a deep sadness. Years turned into decades, and the weight of hiding began to grow unbearable. The man who gave so much joy to the world was quietly searching for his own, questioning how long he could keep living this way. But even as he struggled, Barry never stopped singing, smiling, and giving his fans everything he had. Inside, though, he knew a change had to come. For decades, Barry Manilow kept his private life carefully hidden. But in 2017, everything changed. At the age of 73, Barry publicly came out as gay, sharing his longtime relationship with Gary Keefe, his partner of over 40 years. The world finally learned about the man who had stood by his side through every high and low. Barry had always feared how fans would react if they knew the truth. Would they still love him? Would his career survive? But when the news broke, something incredible happened. Fans didn't turn away. Instead, they embraced him with open arms. The love they had for Barry didn't fade. It grew stronger. When asked why he waited so long, Barry explained that he had kept quiet to protect his career, and more importantly, to protect Gary. The pressures of fame and the fear of judgment had held him back. But after so many years of hiding, Barry said he finally felt free. Coming out wasn't easy. Barry described the relief he felt, saying he could finally be his true self in front of the people who had supported him for decades. His decision wasn't just brave, it was life-changing. Barry's decision to come out wasn't just about personal freedom. It was a message to others living in silence. He spoke openly about the years he spent worrying about rejection, not just from fans, but from an industry that often valued image over authenticity. His story resonated deeply, particularly with those who had faced similar fears. Barry's honesty also highlighted the changing attitudes of society, showing that times had evolved since the start of his career. For many, his courage was inspiring, proving that it's never too late to embrace who you are and live a life of truth and authenticity. The announcement didn't slow him down. Barry continued to perform, write, and connect with his fans, now with a newfound sense of freedom. The smile people had always seen on stage was no longer just a performance, it was real. Barry Manilow's journey to finding his true self was a long one, but in the end, it became one of his greatest triumphs. When Barry Manilow finally came out, he felt relieved. Barry's influence on music and pop culture is still undeniable. With over 50 years in the industry, he sold more than 85 million records worldwide and earned countless trophies, including Grammy, Emmy, and Tony Awards. His timeless hits continue to resonate with audiences, proving his music has a staying power few artists achieve. But Barry's legacy goes beyond the charts. His unique ability to craft songs that speak to the heart has made him a storyteller for generations. Whether it's the joy of Copacabana, the longing in Mandy, or the sentiment of Can't Smile Without You, Barry's music captures emotions in a way that feels personal to every listener. He has supported many causes, like helping schools through the Manilow Music Project, which gives instruments to schools that don't have enough money. He has shown over and over that his passion isn't just about performing, it's about helping others. Even as he embraced his true self later in life, Barry's connection with fans never wavered. If anything, his honesty deepened their admiration for him. Barry proved that being vulnerable isn't a weakness, it's a strength that inspires others. Today, Barry Manilow continues to perform and connect with audiences. His music remains a testament to love, resilience, and authenticity. His story, one of talent, struggle, and triumph, will inspire generations to come. Barry Manilow's legacy is clear. He's not just a star, he's a symbol of perseverance and the power of being true to yourself.